Hey, what is good everyone? Hope you're all doing fantastic. In this video, we're going to go ahead and test out a bunch of different bumper cases for the Series 4 Apple Watch. Now, last month I created a video covering all the full cover cases. I'm talking about the full cases that actually have the band attached to them. If you're interested in finding out what was the best case, you can click the little iCard above this video or click for that link in the video description down below. But for this video, we're just going to go ahead and test out a bunch of different style bumper cases to give our phone the maximum protection if you're looking for a less bulkier option. So as you guys can see, I have a variety of different styles and brands to choose from for us to do this video comparison. Now I picked each and every one of these up with my own personal fundings, and I didn't just randomly go on a shopping spree and buying every case possible. I just picked the ones that looked promising and had positive reviews. So we're gonna go ahead and compare each and every one on finding out which one's the best case for our Apple Watch. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So we have the case from Spigen, which is also available in 3 different color options and retails for around $14. And then we have the sub case, which this one has a built-in screen protector and retails for around $13. And then we also have these weird Chinese brands. So that's a total of 6 different cases for us to go ahead and test out and compare to see which one is the best. So let's go ahead and start off this video by going over a company, a brand that we should already be familiar with, Spigen. This is their rugged armored one, and I got mine in white. The feel and the structure of this case is nice and flexible. It's using the same shock absorbing material that Spigen is known from using on their past accessories. Underneath is pretty interesting. It actually is covering up parts of the ECG hardware. I'm not sure if this will cause any interference. We're gonna go ahead and check that out in a little bit. And if we take a closer look at the case, there's pattern designs, just like Spigen normally does. Underneath we have this cool design pattern, so it's pretty stylized. Placing it on the Series 4 Apple Watch was a bit tight, but easy to put on. And the cutout that's circled around the display seems to line up really well. There is also a noticeable lip raise that goes around the display to give you an extra layer of protection, but it doesn't seem like it's high enough that will actually protect the screen from making contact if you would accidentally rest your wrist or slam your wrist on a concrete wall. But a regular wall or other normal surfaces, I think this should be just fine. So when installing the loop band like I have here, it was actually really tight. This was due to the fact that the gap on top of this case was a little bit bulkier than it was supposed to be. Because of that, it was actually pinching down on the band, creating pressure and making it difficult to properly secure it on your wrist. But moving on, testing out the ECG, it looks like it works just like how it should, so there isn't any interference with this hardware. The speaker grill cutouts are perfectly individually cutted out, and the crown wheel is fully exposed and responsive, as well as the power button, which also has this cool grippy texture. So besides the really tight fit that it has for the loop band, this case is alright. But let's go ahead and move on to the sub case. So for the price of $13, we get 2 of these built-in screen protector bumper cases. And it looks like we have a cutout for pretty much everything for our Series 4 Apple Watch. But placing it on your Series 4 was really difficult. The plastic is it's flexible, but it's not as flexible. It's a real tight fit. So I had to go off camera and find a pen or something to finally get this case on my Series 4 Apple Watch. But once we finally have it placed, I'm not a huge fan of the look right now. It looks like it has like some sort of bubble protection, which basically this is what it technically is. But if we look closely on our display, we see a lot of noticeable dots. And just to clarify a few things, I know these dots are here to help improve the sensitivity of the screen, so it can still detect your finger, but I think these dots are unnecessarily large and will ruin the look of your entire display. And just like the Spigen case, we get 2 individual cutouts for a speaker grill, as well as an exposed microphone, and the crown wheel is fully accessible. So this all-in-one protection is actually a really good idea. Since the new Series 4 has these rounder edges, it's really difficult to find a screen protector that could perfectly wrap around these curved display. This is a challenge I've been facing and many others on the quest for the perfect screen protector. Now let's go ahead and move on and insert the watch band, and everything goes on really well. Once you're on your wrist, the screen does look a bit grayish because that all screen bumper protection. The power button is easy to press, crown wheel is easier to access, and offers a good amount of protection. Although the screen doesn't look as clear as I want it to, I'll still prefer this over the Spigen already. But just like putting it on, taking it off was a pain in the butt, as there's little to no wiggle room whatsoever to slide this case off. I actually had to go grab the same pen I used to take this off. Now let's go ahead and move on to the other case. Now this is one of those generic Chinese ones, but this one had the highest ratings that I seen. Almost, actually 311 at the time making this video. This one's similar to the sub case. It's an all-in-one screen protection bumper case. And the texture feels a lot better than the sub case did. This case is still very flexible though, but the screen looks a lot more clear than the sub case did. And inserting the case was a lot more easier than the other ones. I still had to go back and grab the pen, but wasn't at all difficult as the sub case was. And once on the case, I mean, it looks really clear. It looks like as if it doesn't even have a case. The backside of this case blends in really well with the body of the watch, and the crown wheel is easy to move and it's still responsive. And once we turn off the display, it blends in really well. It's hard to even tell this thing even has a case. Inserting our loop band was really easy, like you would as if it didn't even have a screen protector. It's super thin and minimalistic. It's hard to even tell it even has a case on. The screen is still very responsive. The crown wheel is easy to access. The power button responds really well. And we take an up close and look of the screen. It does still have those little dots, but they're so small it's hard to even tell they're even there. All in all, I think I prefer this one than the sub case. The sub case just made the entire watch look really cheap, and this offers the same amount of protection. But when I was trying to take off the band, there's no release opening for the release button back here for the Apple Watch. So what you need to do is flip this open and then just put your fingernail in there and just pop it out. No biggie, but that's the only con I found. And removing it, no need to use a pen. This one actually came out a lot easier. So yeah, this is gonna be a tough one to beat. I think this is my number one so far. Now let's go ahead and move on to another bumper case. This one's actually more of a traditional bumper. This one is matte black, so it should blend in really well with the space gray body. And this one was actually awarded Amazon's Choice for the Series 4 Apple Watch. Let's see if this actually is a good investment to protect your watch. So this one costs $9. And just by looking at it, it's just your standard bumper case. There's a cutout for the crown, and there's a big cutout for the speaker grill too. So now let's go ahead and attach this to our Series 4. And then taking a closer look at the display, the outline that circles around the display is nicely cut. There isn't any parts that's blocking parts of the screen, and the lip that goes around the display doesn't seem like it offers a lot of protection. I think the Spigen one actually had a little bit more protection gap. And inserting the bands was as easy as if there wasn't a case to begin with. The bumper case itself is really low key, very minimalistic, doesn't even feel like I have a case on, which is good, but it doesn't offer any protection at all. Like I said, there's no lip that goes around the screen, there's no protection around the crown is fully accessible, and the power button is really responsive. And that's pretty much it. For $10, this case, compared to the others, this doesn't offer a lot. But I will give it credit because underneath, the buttons where you use to press to release the Apple Watch bands are fully exposed and easy to access. Now the fifth one, this is the one that came bundled with 3 of the same clear bumper cases. This case got my attention because it has 92 reviews and has almost a perfect 5-star rating. And $7 gets you 3 of these bumper cases. Not sure why you need so many, but you have 3. And inserting it to our Apple Watch was as easy like the previous bumper case was. There's absolutely no fitting issues, and when inserting the loop band on, there was also no fitting issues whatsoever. Now there isn't at all any screen protection. The lip that goes around the display isn't deep enough to prevent it from scratching if you accidentally slide your wrist against a wall. But the cutout that goes around the display, like all the other watches we've seen so far, is perfectly lined up around the display. The buttons are fully accessible, the crown wheel really easy to rotate, the power button quickly responsive, and taking off the band and taking off the case, really easy and straightforward. But now let's go ahead and move on and take a look at our last case. Now this last case is also a shock absorbing case from an unknown Chinese manufacturer, But this one was one of the few that actually gives you 6 different color options to choose from. And out of the box, they actually include a microfiber cloth, which is kind of cool, I guess, like a little bonus. It's using a nice rubber, almost silicone-like material. Maybe it is silicone, but it does feel shock absorbent. And this one was one of the easiest cases to put on the Series 4 Apple Watch. It simply just popped in. The power button actually has like this really nice texture. And of course the microphone as well as the speaker grills are perfectly open and exposed. So there isn't any interference issues that I can see. And there wasn't at all any fitting issues when inserting the loop band to the Apple Watch. Everything goes on and feels really nice when you attach it to your wrist. The crown wheel is fully exposed, responsive, as well as the power button. And that lip that goes all the way around the display to give you that extra gap, that extra layer of protection, is a lot higher compared to the speaking case. And on the back side, it's a perfect opening. I think this is the best opening for these kind of watch cases because the latch release is super easy to press. So taking off the Apple Watch band is really easy. And removing it off the case just simply pops out thanks to that opening back here. So from all those cases that we looked at, if you're looking for a really strong shock absorbing case, but you don't want to have a big bulky one like these ones, I'll definitely pick this shock one. This one's pretty cool, offers a lot more protection, although it doesn't have a cool design pattern like the speaking case does, but the speaking case was a little bit too bulky on the other ends. It made it difficult for me to fit my loop band, and this case has no fitting issues whatsoever, and the lip that goes around the display is a lot more wider and gappier, if that's even a word, than the speaking case. So this won't give you the most maximum protection without having to have a really bulky case. But another case that I really did like has to be this one by brand. Although it came in the zip bag, it actually feels and looks a lot more premium than the sub case did. Although both of these offer the same amount of protection, this full screen protection, pretty much 70% of the Apple Watch is fully sealed thanks to this case. But brand is using the right materials because it looks really clear and it's really hard to even tell that this thing actually has a screen protector on. So there you guys have it. Sorry if this video is a little bit longer than it should. I just wanted to make sure I cover every little detail about these cases, especially when comparing them. But again, my personal favorites have to be these two. They're really minimalistic, especially this one. This one's really ultra slim. It has a really cool low-key look and changes the look of your Apple Watch entirely, to be honest. This actually looks like it's like a black stainless steel and I really do like it. And yes, I'll be sure to link each and every one of these cases in the video description down below for you guys so you guys could easily go ahead and find them. Well, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys found this video informative. If you did, be sure to leave this video a big thumbs up, as that not only lets me know, but that also strongly helps support this channel. And be sure to subscribe because if you made it to the end of the video, clearly you enjoyed my content. And I always just enjoy sharing anything tech related. I always just enjoyed sharing it all with you guys. So be sure to subscribe, but as always, thank you guys for watching. Take care and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.